Bonjour mes amis, comment ça va aujourd'hui? And welcome back to Daring to Dare, Chapter 3, A Standout in the Crowd, Part 3. Well, I'm off into the real world. And the first thing I had to do was get a job. I had to get a job because my mother informed me I had to pay board. I really didn't have a problem with paying board. I knew that was the way to do it, but I had to get a job. What kind of job could I get? I had no skills. Absolutely. I had nothing to offer. I went through 12 years of school and I had no skills to go out and get a job. Don't even get me started with education, the public education. That's for another episode. So, the first thing I realized is, well, I guess I'll have to be a secretary someday. Maybe I need to learn how to type. So, I took my classes in the summer, right after I graduated, and I learned how to type. Now, I wasn't doing 60 words a minute, but I was holding my own. But the job that I had to get was at King's. It was a department store, much like Walmart, only much smaller. And it was within walking distance to my home. That was really my only option. And so I went into retail. Of course, I didn't know it was retail back then, and I was hired as a cashier. Well, that was easy enough, no problems. And I did that for a while, and then I asked if I could be transferred to another department. Yeah, they said, sure. So I went into, I can't even remember. I was in every department. I don't remember where I started. I know I was in layaway, I was in shoes, I was in clothes, I was in houseware. I made it a point to learn everything that I could in that store, because I realized the more I knew what was going on, the more valuable I would be. So I became a standout in the crowd at this department store. I became the go-to person. I should have been in management because the manager was terrible, but anyway. I did that job for about a year, and I saved money to get a car. And the next year, I had enough to put a down payment on a car. So one day, my father and I went to a dealer. We only went to one dealer, only one. And they had a 1969 Chevy Chevelle, and I fell in love with it. It was like a buttercream, but a little more goldish to it, and it had black stripes. It looked sharp. So, with my dad there, I bought a car. We didn't look anywhere else. I didn't know what kind of car I was going to get. I didn't know what was in my dad's mind. I didn't know. All I knew was I needed a car. So I got this car. I had it for 6 weeks, and somebody keyed from the front of the car on the driver's side, keyed all the way down the side of my car. I can't believe that somebody would do something like that. What would make you do something like that? Jealousy? They liked the color, so they wanted to mess it up? I just don't understand that kind of behavior. So I got it fixed. 6 weeks into having the car, I had to get that fixed, and I did. And I had no money. Between that and paying board, I had like $15 a week left to my name. Now, my mom said that I had to pay board, and I can't remember what it was, but I know I was left with like $15 a week every 4 weeks. So, okay, I went with it for a while, and then I'm realizing, why am I paying every 4 weeks? I should pay at the first of the month. So I told her this. Oh, no. Every 4 weeks, she said. Well, I bucked her on that, and I went to my dad, which was very rare. I try not to pit the two of them together, because it would be a horrible screaming match. Mostly my mother screaming, my father trying to talk to her, but... So I explained it to my dad. I said, I'm paying too much. I should be paying once a month. And I showed him what I was talking about. He agreed. He says, you're right. So he told my mom, well, she did not like that. It was like she was so greedy. I mean, I felt when I gave her the money, she was like grabbing it right out of my hands, like this is my money, and it was just like, that's what I felt like, that she was just, couldn't wait to get her hands on my money. That was now hers. Oh boy. And then one afternoon, it was a beautiful sunny day, and I was the only one in the house with her. Don't know where everybody else was, but I was in my bedroom. And she said, I want to show you something. So, okay. So we go into her bedroom. She opens her closet door, and she reaches in the back, and this is what she brings out. Just like this, a tube. What's she gonna do with this tube? Anyway, she says, look inside. I'm looking, I don't see any light. She sees some light at the end of this, right? She says to me, I have $6,000 in that tube. And she says, I want somebody to know, but don't tell your father. This is my money. I don't know if she even realized the situation that she put me in. And if she did, she didn't care. What a cross to bear. I wanted to tell my dad so much. Oh my, I felt horrible. She should not have done that to me. It was a cross to bear forever. This was my cross to bear for many, many, many years. I don't know whatever happened to that money. When she passed away, I didn't even know it. My brother and my sister cleared out the house. If they saw a tube, I hope they looked in it. Otherwise, they threw $6,000 out. But I never told my father. And I never talked about it to my mother again. She really put me in the middle. How unfair that was, to put me in the middle between her and my father. I thought it was awful. My father worked long hours. He was a traveling salesman at one time. I know he was selling books. He worked on the PTC driving a bus, and then he got a job at Stroman's Bread. And it was up early in the morning, and he'd be home late at night. And this went on for years and years and years. My mother had a little part-time job after we got a little older, and she didn't have to be home for us. And she got a little part job at the school cafeteria, which was like 3 hours a day, Monday through Friday. But somehow, I can't imagine, somehow she had $6,000 that she said was her money. I totally disagree. Totally. I would never do that to my husband, and I would never put any of my children in that position. That is cruel. That is absolutely cruel. I'm going to leave you with that. You're welcome to join me next time. I would like for you to subscribe to my channel, and please give me some comments. And yeah, this is the real Tish. Au revoir.